Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, a top AEW talent has been contacted by WWE.
WWE have also just spoiled their own championship tournament.
Brandi Rhodes returns to a WE ring.
And a wrestling legend is set to show up on tonight's AEW Dynamite. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy H. Murray.
This is the news, but some sad news to start off with. Unfortunately, due to a scheduling conflict, I will be unable to attend everything over Clash at the Castle weekend, including Clash near the Castle and Lost in Newport.
Who am I going to do the news with?
I'm gutted. I'm so sorry, everyone. But don't worry, the rest of the gang will be there. Simon Miller's going to be there, so that's the main thing.
Well, Simon makes up for it, but the rest of us...
I might even send the kazoo in my place.
I tell you what, I'll bring the eel.
There you go.
I'll bring the eel.
Fair exchange, but sorry, everyone.
In fairness, we probably should have put the eel on the poster, because then nobody would have bought a ticket. Right, let's kick this thing off by talking about WWE. WWE. Well, that channel is wild.
I love it.
This is
so
the
good.
news stories they come up with. Triple H drives boss into car. Wild stuff.
Yeah, anything goes.
Right, AEW contracted person has been kind of almost maybe attempted poached to
tapped up. They used to call it in football parlance, I believe.
Tapping and papping. There's all kinds of stuff going on here, right? This is a Fightful Select report stating that a notable AEW talent who is under contract with AEW reported to AEW management that WWE contacted them about potentially going to the market leaders. Now, this person, this wrestler, has told AEW that they're happy there, and they felt like the company deserved to know that this had occurred. They also stated that they didn't have a desire to leave AEW. Now, there's some more details to it as well. The claim came from a member of WWE's talent relations department who reached out to this person contacting the AEW wrestler, and a person close to AEW indicated to Fightful that they referred the call to their agent or the representation or whoever instead of taking it directly, which is, I don't know, there's probably some kind of thing legally going on there if it goes direct. They confirmed, however, that the performer wishes to remain anonymous in all of this, which I think is very understandable. But while they can verify that the claim was made, they have learned nothing more about the alleged contact. So, specific details on this understandably gets murky like this. I've not been forthcoming. Now, there's no question that this is a contracted AEW wrestler that WWE has gone after. WWE is in full-on acquisition mode at the moment, right? They've brought back Karrion Kross, Top Dollar, the rest of Hit Row, B-Fab, and Ashanti the Adonis. Who else? Dakota Kai, Io Sky got a new contract. There's all kinds of stuff going on, and there's probably more that I've forgotten about. We're all expecting the flipping Fiend to show up at some point. We're going to talk about someone else in another news story here that might potentially be on their way back. Clearly getting quite aggressive with their talent acquisition. I could imagine Triple H looking at AEW and going, hey, that person's good, I want them.
Yeah, exactly. And, we've seen elements of the AEW roster maybe become a little bit disgruntled, whether it be, liking tweets here or saying stuff to people and it getting leaked there. I'm not surprised by this, I've got to be perfectly honest, for all the reasons you've just laid out there. But it will be intriguing to see who the first jump is going to be. Not necessarily from WWE to AEW back to WWE, but the other way, AEW to WWE, if you don't count Ben Carter, I suppose.
I guess of the new era, right?
Yes.
It's more interesting because you've obviously had the Cody jump, which was extremely interesting, but of this new era, of wrestlers who maybe wouldn't have considered this kind of thing under Vince, it's going to be really interesting to see how the wrestling landscape falls over the coming years. I'm really interested in the contract side of this because everyone's an independent contractor, not an employee, so there's probably loopholes and all kinds of murky crap that I probably won't get into just yet, but yeah, wild stuff across the board here.
I think by the end of 2023, Kenny Omega might have won the 24/7 championship. I'm just putting it out there. Right, let's talk about last night's
win of his career.
Let's talk about last night. Well, he could learn a lot from the Lights Out match that's coming on NXT, of course. Speaking of which, on NXT NXT 2.0 last night. Let's talk about the big news, and that is that the goddamn schmuck Santos Escobar's been sent out of the goddamn door by the Don Tony D. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking a little bit about the main overarching story of last night, and also the ripple effect that has on the other show, because NXT UK invaded NXT 2.0 last night. Gallus came in and beat down Diamond Mine. You had Blair Davenport after the storyline of Index was reignited,
she
basically.
Debuted by
she tore up a picture, yep, that was a thing. And then, in the main event, spoiler alert everyone, Braun Breaker retained the NXT Championship against JD McDonough, and following that match, he was confronted, Andy, by NXT UK champion Tyler Bate. The only problem with that is Tyler Bate's not NXT UK champion. What I mean by that is Ilya Dragunov, who was formerly the UK champion of the NXT UK champion.
That's the one.
He was injured.
And in like early July.
This is the 7th of July, I think it was. It was announced that they're going to have a big tournament to crown the new NXT UK champion. Yeah, that tournament hasn't concluded yet. In fact, Tyler Bate's first round match against Kenny Williams hasn't even hit the air yet. But spoiler alert, Tyler Bate's going to win the World Championship. So if you're a betting man and anyone will take that bet, quid's in. This is basically like Back to the Future.
It's really funny, isn't it? It's just really funny.
Because I really quite enjoyed NXT Heatwave. I was about to say Heartbreak then. Heartbeat. NXT Heatwave. I thought it was great.
Claude Greengrass.
But we were literally talking about in the office yesterday. I was like, what's going on with NXT UK to Hamlet? And who's the world champion? He was like, well, there isn't a world champion yet. And then Tyler Bate walks out with it slung over his shoulder last night.
It's really funny, right? Because obviously this was taped. Like the title change is already taped.
Yes.
We know. Like it's like a culmination of the tournament and as well the Tyler Bate Trent Seven feud.
Yes.
So they've spoiled the outcome of that as well. But like the spoilers have obviously been out there for like a month and a half, right?
Oh yeah, this has happened. It's just not been aired.
So there's a good chance that if you're like the hardest of the hardcore, you know about this, but it's still a continuity rift. Like the guy comes on TV with the belt that he hasn't technically won in kayfabe yet, and it's like, I just think it's funny. Like, I think it's really funny. Like, if you wanted to avoid this continuity rift, you could have just waited a few weeks, right? Until the thing had aired, and then it wouldn't be an issue. But no, they went,
they're setting a Worlds Collide, so they were like, oh, bollocks, who cares? No one really watches NXT UK anyway, if we're perfectly honest.
Yeah,
I especially find this hilarious because we literally had this issue in WCPW back in the day where sometimes we'd tape stuff that was going to air after maybe a pay-per-view or whatever, and we never made this mistake.
Yeah, it's one of the pitfalls of taped booking, taped schedules and all of that, but you can get around it by just waiting a few weeks.
Or just thinking.
Just engaging the old brains. Like Tyler Bate has like 3 more matches to win before he's crowned that.
I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's the champion.
I think he's very talented.
Braun Breaker's going to be sick, but
it's just funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it is funny.
Right, Brandi Rhodes.
Also, R.I.P. Santos Escobar.
Yeah,
he
is now sleeping with the tadpoles.
He is keeping with the quad.
Brandi Rhodes.
Yes,
she's back in the WWE ring. So Fightful Select.
Who told you is King of the Mic Night? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, fair enough.
Where's the eel? Right. She wrestled a match at the Performance Center last Friday, Fightful Select with the Scoopski. This was at one of the live events they host in the Performance Center. We've heard about these in-house live events in the past. She wrestled someone described as, and I quote, a newer talent. No idea on who that was. But she's been visiting the Performance Center a few times lately, and you know, more than just her showing up, she's obviously worked this match here. So no word or no indication that this was some kind of official tryout or whatever, but you know, speculation has linked her to a WWE return ever since Cody returned, really, of course.
Yes.
They obviously left AEW in February. Cody showed up at WrestleMania. Ever since then, it's going to be like, hey, what's going on with Brandi? She's been training. She's indicated that she wants to keep wrestling. To continue her in-ring career going. Her last match was against Kylan King. It was a dark taping for AEW at, it was like January. So yeah, there you go. Brandi Rhodes, like, under the WWE banner, technically, she's only ever wrestled one match, which was like an FCW show in 2011.
Yeah, she was backstage interviewing, wasn't she?
She was. Eden Styles ring announcing and stuff as well. So technically, it would be a new avenue for her in WWE, and I think it's something that, like her and Cody as a double act, like I think it makes a lot of sense. Like the criticism of Brandi Rhodes online is often insane.
Yes.
It often goes way over the top. Look, she's not Manami Toyota iota in the ring. I don't think anyone's pretending that she is, but the way her output is discussed is ridiculous sometimes. So, hey, good luck to her.
I'm going to give her a chance with this as long as it's nothing like the Nightmare Collective.
Oh, let's do the Nightmare Collective in WWE. She could take over from Joe Gacy.
With the Fiend.
And carrying Cross.
Look, I'm just saying this right now. I previously have said, well, why even bother with the Royal Rumble because it's going to be Cody and Becky. Nope, Cody's not winning the Rumble because him and Brandi are tagging against Triple H and Steph at WrestleMania probably.
And then they're going to go on to face Cross and Scarlett.
Oh, God, yeah.
Let's go on a journey.
Right, let's talk about tonight's AEW Dynamite House of the Dragon special. And that name is particularly appropriate because the legend that's going to be showing up on tonight's show as special guest timekeeper, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
That's very clever.
That makes sense. No word on yet as to whether it's for a specific match or the entire show. Personally, I love him. More Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in my life is great.
Love Ricky.
And obviously, it works, as I said, because of the whole House of the Dragon thing. And there's that 2 out of 3 falls match. He was quite good at them, wasn't he, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
He was all right. He had a couple. He worked a couple matches here and there, Ricky. Dragon.
I like if they had 2 options for him. Ricky, we've got 2 options for you. You can be this special on this Dynamite with all this Dragon theme stuff, or you can be Ric Flair's last match. It's up to you.
Take your pick. I'm
going to take the first one.
I'm going to take the Dragons. That's a lot easier on the old body. They're being cutesy with the crossover, aren't they? Like, they've got the American Dragon versus the Dragon Slayer, and now they've got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. So, how many more what's Ultimo Dragon up to? Is he still in Dragon Gate?
Double Dragon.
Dragon. Dragon. Problem Dragon. Hey?
It's a huge dragon.
Just get some dragons in. You know what?
That was the video that got me into Botchamania, by the way.
Oh,
Dragon.
I am the table, all that stuff. Shout out to Matthew, by the way, the only guy who's ever made botch content not in bad faith. Everyone else sucks.
Yeah.
You know what would be the real story tonight, Bo?
What?
Got it, right? They're being cute with the name of this show. The House of the Dragon, right? It's a Game of Thrones spin-off.
Yeah.
Who is the game and has a throne? Busted it wide open.
Oh my God.
There we go.
How deep does this conspiracy go?
Conspiracy rumbled. Ricky Steamboat rules. I'm glad he's on TV.
Yes. Right, let's go on to your Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE, of course, want to get in touch with us. First question today comes from Matsuda, who says, hello, fellow wrestling nerds. Do you guys think with Triple H running WWE that Roderick Strong will stay with WWE or go to AEW?
Yeah, I think he's more likely to stay.
Hell of a lot more likely now, yeah.
It was quite clear that he wasn't enjoying life under the previous regime. He asked for his release, and he's just been kind of chilling since then. He's been doing this Diamond Mine stuff, which I'm personally into. But yeah, you can see why Roderick Strong, who is a wrestler's wrestler, would look at NXT 2.0 and go, this is weird. I don't really fit that well with this vision. And then he might look at the main roster and go, Vince McMahon, I'm not 7 foot. He's not going to push me or whatever. So yeah, I think he's likelier. I wouldn't dismiss the idea that maybe he still wants to leave. I wouldn't rule that out completely, but I think Triple H is much likelier to treat him better than Vince was. He might want to go over to AEW and hang out with like Adam Cole and all those dudes. But I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed.
Yeah, I think he might stick with WWE for a while, obviously depending on the length of contract, etc., etc. But I think certainly his happiness will have improved, as you say there. And there's such potential with people like him now that you go, this wouldn't be, the end of the line, basically, if he got moved up to the main roster. Obviously, Santos Escobar's presumably going there after last night's NXT. You've got Roderick Strong. We were talking last night, or yesterday, I should say, when we were previewing the North American Championship match. I won't say who won, but we were saying, what if Carmelo Hayes lost? Not the end of the world, because he's more than ready to go to the main roster as well. And those, I think, are 3 guys, and I could list so many more, that we'd have gone, well, I'll see you in AEW in 6 months, buddy.
Sure, yeah.
But now with Triple H in charge, who knows? The world is a very different place to what it was a few months back.
It's much healthier. It's much better.
Better, let's be honest. PC Briggs, hello officer, gives us our second question of the day. It's more of a sort of pitch, and I love it. I've been thinking this New Day and Viking Raiders rivalry is going to set up a Tyler Breeze return.
Ooh.
I know people are speculating Big E, but with a neck injury like his, it'll probably be a while before he can consider coming back. Absolutely agree with you on that, and do not want to rush him back because I love him. Mm-hmm. So, who better than Tyler Breeze to fill a spot in the New Day? I love Tyler Breeze, man.
Yeah, Tyler Breeze is a lot of fun. And he obviously has that connection through up, down, down, and all that stuff. Yeah, Big E's not going to be back for a while. No. I think we need to maybe shelve that speculation. I think it'd be a nice thing to do. It'd be a nice thing to do for like a really entertaining guy who would be good in that role.
And one step closer to bringing back the best guy in all of wrestling.
Fandango. Dirty Dango. He's been busy building houses, man.
Everybody, it's Tyler. I'd love to see. Oh my God, I loved him so much. I went to the first live event I ever went to. I went to the loo and genuinely almost knocked someone over running back from the toilet because I heard that. The Fandango, the Breezango. Yeah. I'm putting on the office today, that's it.
Oh, good.
Senor Benja gives us our final question
Senor
today.
Benjamin from Matt Hardy.
No.
Oh.
Since tonight, everybody expects Kenny Omega to be the third man. Oh yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
They should have given some clues or something.
Yeah, maybe they should have dropped a hint, yeah.
How fun would it be to hear his music play, but it's Brandon Cutler cosplaying as Kenny, and then during the match, the Bucks realise Cutler is actually good at wrestling, which he is.
That would be really funny.
Yes and no.
That'd be really funny, but you're screwing with your audience a bit too much.
Don't take the piss.
Yeah.
Have him come out all you want, maybe even dressed as Kenny Omega, and then have him be twatted around the head with a broom.
Yeah.
And here comes the cleaner.
You would have to do it straight away, wouldn't you?
No offense to Brandon Cutler.
Yeah, Brandon Cutler is amazing in his goober role. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, don't screw with your audience that much.
Yeah. Is he going to be Kenny Omega? Can I get my hopes up?
Like 900% is Kenny.
Exactly. Yeah. Right, let's move on to today's and finally, and very rare that we do this, but I'm going to put over I don't know what to say, supermarket chain, a high street chain, B&M. I'm not sure if they are a thing abroad or in the States.
Don't think so.
They're very useful for little bits that you want to save money on, basically, here.
If you need to buy some bin bags, some bleach, and some pickled onion Monster Munch, that's where you go.
Exactly. But they've completed social media. So congratulations to them at BM Stores on Twitter, because they literally did a thread yesterday in the style of Scott Einsteiner. This promo right here. See, if you go to 3 shops, you got a 33 and 1/3 chance of leaving. But us, you got a 66 and 2/3 chance of leaving because the other shops know they can't beat us and they're not even going to try. It continues. Go and check out the thread, like it, and heap all the praise on their admin, because I always love when wrestling pops up in weird places like this.
And this is a very weird place.
How many people are just, mums or something that are just like, oh, I'll follow B&M in case they've got any offers on Twitter?
Do you know who's running B&M's socials these days?
Who's that? Mark me down as...
Oh wow, Eel's got no grip. He can type tweets.
You're just a mum following B&M going, what's this tweet about?
Yeah. What's going on?
What's going
on, guys?
Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from for daily wrestling podcasts. And myself and the Dudley Boys reviewing NXT a little bit later on today, and looking ahead to AEW Dynamite House of the Dragon, where Kenny Omega's going to show up, and Sid will get really excited about that. So check that out, WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from. Follow us on Twitter and send us Twitter questions at WhatCultureWWE. Watch there, you can follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray at...
Follow me at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for hey. You might want to get the Kleenexes ready for that podcast tomorrow, brother, because those guys are going to be very excited.
You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn. The W stands for the massive W that Chesterfield got over Wrexham last night.
Eat it.
Get in, you spy rights.
Eat it, Pollard.
Give that you. I'm joking.
Actually, I want both teams to lose, because rooting against your mates' teams is fun.
It's objectively
so
funny,
if you could have both lost, that would have been better.
Exactly.
But hey, one of you had to lose.
Hey, could be worse if you're a Wrexham fan. You could be a Man United fan. Right, at WhatCulture WWE, as I said, for all of us. Oh, it's going to be
I love sticking the boot in on Man United, man. Punch up every time.
Exactly. Right, it's been the news. Once again, apologies for my lack of attendance at Clash at the Castle, but it's going to be a great weekend, and all the gang are
The eel is coming. The eel is coming.
The eel's coming.
I might give the eel away. We'll see.
What a scoop, right.
We'll see.
Thanks, Andy. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Who wants an eel?